What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our ACC football channel. In our 2019 schedule previews, continue with the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. You can see their schedule on your screen. A pretty solid season for them last year. Made it to a bowl game, won that bowl game, finished 7-6. The ACC, as we all know, is not looking all that tough this upcoming season, so perhaps Wake Forest will have an opportunity to take a step forward and maybe increase that win total just a little bit, or perhaps they lose a bunch of these 50-50 games and they don't even make it to a bowl game. We'll give you really the best and worst case scenario for Wake Forest here in this video. They bring back plenty of talent from last season. They're going to have a really interesting quarterback battle probably all off season, and that's good to have when you've got two guys that have played and had success. That's always a good sign. So we'll see what happens in that quarterback battle. You look at the schedule, they open up with Utah State. Not a fun team to open up with. Not a gimme game by any means. One of the better group of 5 teams in college football. Then they get Rice on the road. North Carolina in a non-conference game on a Thursday night. That is not a conference game. I do not remember ever seeing this, but Wake Forest and North Carolina scheduled a game against each other to be played in the non-conference. So interesting stuff there. They play Elon after that. Road game at Boston College before a bye week, and then they face Louisville, and they don't get another bye week after that. So a long stretch here, I believe, or maybe they do get one more bye week. So that was a mix-up there. So they get Boston College on the road, then Louisville after the bye week, then they play Florida State, then they get another bye week. So it's after Florida State that they do not get another bye week, and they face NC State, at Virginia Tech, at Clemson, Duke, and at Syracuse. A pretty tough stretch to close out the season when you look at those 5 games, especially that Virginia Tech Clemson duo of back-to-back games. But there are some easy wins here on the schedule. I think they beat Rice easily. I think they beat Elon easily. Don't really see them having much trouble in either of those games. Again, Utah State I don't think is a guaranteed win. I think that's going to be a tough game for Wake Forest. I don't know if they'll even be favored in that game. It is at home, so that'll help them out, but that's going to be a tough matchup there in that game right there. But we can also give them maybe a guaranteed, not a guaranteed loss, but they're probably not going to beat Clemson. The game is on the road. It's right after playing Virginia Tech on the road. That's just a very tough game right there. I just don't really see Wake Forest with any chance in that one. So we're going to give them a loss, and we will start doing this as we now get towards the lower tier teams. We'll actually start giving them the almost guaranteed losses as well as the almost guaranteed wins. So that gets you 3 games out of the way. You got 9 games to figure out, and they're all games that I think Wake Forest could win or lose. I really could see them all going either way. Utah State, North Carolina, Louisville at home. They're probably going to be favored in those games. Might be favored against NC State. That would get you to a bowl game. I think they're going to be favored against Duke. That puts you at 7 wins. So if they win all the games they're favored in, I think this team probably gets to 7 wins. But what happens if you lose a couple of those games? Or maybe they go out and beat a team where they're the underdog, maybe against Boston College. Like right now I'm saying Boston College will be favored because they're at home, but they may not be that good this year. So perhaps Wake Forest could win that game. So I think they could get up to 8 wins. I don't think that's that big of a stretch. I don't see them getting over 8 wins. I think that's about the best case scenario. They're not going to beat Clemson. Probably not going to beat Virginia Tech. Between Florida State and NC State, I think you lose one of those games. And then Boston College and Syracuse, 2 road games. Perhaps they lose one of those games, or maybe a game to North Carolina. Again, that is to me about the best case scenario. I mean, 9-3 is possible if everything just comes together for this team, and a lot of these teams are down from where we might or they're worse than what we expect. Perhaps they could get to 9 wins, but I think 8 wins is a more reasonable best case scenario. Worst case scenario, I think, is 5-7. They miss out on a bowl game. Again, that would mean probably losing to Utah State in the opener. Obviously, we already talked about Clemson, Boston College, Virginia Tech, Syracuse, all games on the road. That's 5 losses. And then let's say lose to Florida State and NC State. Those are going to be tough games, even though they're at home. So I think they could fall to 5-7. But to me, that's about the worst case scenario. I feel pretty confident that Wake Forest will make it to a bowl game. I think 6 or 7 wins is most likely. I think it's more likely that they win 8 games than it is that they win 5. But 6 or 7 to me would be a pinpoint prediction if I was going to narrow it down to just a couple of totals. And again, these projected win totals are only based on the regular season games, not a bowl game, not a potential conference championship or anything like that. We're only looking at the 12 regular season games. And for me, I think Wake Forest again finishes between 5-7 or maybe 8-4. Thank you for watching this video. If you are an ACC football fan, please subscribe to the channel. Leave us your thoughts down in the comments below. And for the latest in ACC football, keep it right here